research efforts to discover new antibiotics have stalled. In the post-World War II period following Alexander Fleming's breakthrough discovery of penicillin, new antibiotics were discovered and developed at a breathtaking pace. The golden age of antibiotic discovery peaked in the 1950s, and during this period, the pharmaceutical industry was the engine of innovation. But then, discoveries started dropping drastically from the 1980s onward, with no new antibiotic being produced in nearly 3 decades. Government, industry, and medical communities all agree that in the face of this mounting crisis, efforts to revive and improve the likelihood of successful drug discovery is essential. Enter Acurx Pharmaceuticals. They are a biopharmaceutical company focused on developing new antibiotics for difficult-to-treat infections such as MRSA, VRE, and DRSP. We face new threats every day, big and small. Acurx Pharma is on the front lines of health using technology to help us treat tomorrow's infections today. Acurx Pharmaceuticals.
Mike Costa busting loose right out of his sweater in celebration of an early Easter.
I got my girdle on.
Yeah. You put the gur in girdle. Big fella. Great to have you along today. 110 million broadcast homes strong in the U.S. on Biz Television Network and YTA, U2 America. Let's not forget Biz Talk Radio Network and American Forces Radio Network, AFN, Armed Forces Network, in 175 countries and all the ships at sea. We are everywhere, television, radio, intraweb, as well as the short-lived TikTok. Sully Speaks Money, our TikTok channel. What do we got there? 98,000 followers.
Not too shabby.
Yeah. We got like 3 million active views. All right. Big Biz Show's on the air. One of my favorite guys, not just to interview, but just my favorite guys overall, is a guy by the name of Philip Oldridge. He is the CEO of a company called Envirotech Vehicles. Not only is a regular on our show, he's turned into a friend, and I just love his company. Envirotech Vehicles has a publicly traded symbol of EVTV. EVTV is a provider of purpose-built, zero-emission EVs focused on fleet operators and commercial vehicles, heavy-duty electric vehicles. And I can see Mike driving one of those kegerator trucks around the stadium. You know, the ones that service all of the serve right.
One of my dreams is one day all of my pizzas will be delivered in one of
in an EVTV.
Vehicles.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You got something to shoot for there, Philip.
A lot of pizza.
There's the bar, pal. Of course, yeah. He's got 1 million vehicles in other companies, but the real bar is making sure Mike has a pizza truck. Perfect. Hey, Guy, great to have you along. Are you in the States again, or are you traveling this time, pal?
I'm traveling. I'm Vancouver, Canada right now, and I'm flying out to the Philippines this evening at 10 o'clock. So I'm transitioning.
Can you share Philippines news yet with us? Is there something to talk about there? I know that every foreign government seems like they want to talk to you about a fleet of vehicles. I know some stuff you can talk about, some stuff you can't because you're a CEO of a public company. But give us a top down on how things are going.
Yeah. So very, very exciting for us in the Philippines. So so I can give you some great news, and then when I get back from the Philippines, I'll give you some really great news. But so the great news is two parts. First of all, the Philippines just announced and released as of 48 hours ago, 2 days ago, that they have now written into law and a program, and they are replacing 2,456,000 vehicles.
Wow.
In the all electric vehicles in the EV space by 2035, and 1,670,000 of those vehicles, give or take a few, I might be off here, but 1.6 million plus by 2030 in the next 7 years.
So obviously there's an addressable market here that you're talking about. It comes down to manufacturing, does it not? At that point, because suddenly, you know, when you're on a tear, and I've told you this before, you know, you couldn't be a better time for electric vehicles for you guys. At the same time, you know, how does the CEO manage that type of scale. I wouldn't even know where to start on something like that because you're juggling you're spinning a couple of plates. Plate number one is, obviously, you've got the attention from not only U.S., but a lot of international countries, not only international companies that want to jump on with you on an OEM basis, but then there's also the countries themselves that want to do something. How do you handle that scale?
Well, great question. We're trying to find a bank that will be big enough to do that with us. But no, all kidding aside,
no, I just got what he said there. Bank. Yeah, good luck with that, Phil. I don't think Phil's depending on banks. I don't think Phil needs to depend on banks.
So we kind of had to compete with a few other companies. It was a half a dozen of them, so to speak, and they scaled it all down. And long story short, the Philippines themselves, ended up selecting EVT and thinking that we would be a great partner for them. So here's the exciting news. We already know that we're going to be doing something. And my trip this evening, when I'm there, I'm going to be there for 1 full week, and we are opening a manufacturing facility at the former Clark Air Force Base, just outside of Manila. We already have the property already picked and everything else, and it's completely. We're just going over to sign documents and do the following. So that's happening for sure. We will be the Philippines' first electric vehicle manufacturer, and we'll be working with some local manufacturers there. And the primary focus on their vehicles immediately out of the gate is their jeepneys, which you probably remember from the left. Yeah, so it's public transportation, and so we know that we'll be signing a substantive order, and I already know what it is, but I can't disclose it to you yet until I actually have it in my hands. So that we'll be taking care of that this week while I'm there, and then I get back on the 31st, and then to go hand in hand with that, you may or may not know, but the U.S. government has just signed an agreement with the Philippines, and they are opening 5 brand new Air Force bases in the Philippines. That's all been done. And so that'll kind of give you a little bit of insight as to why we're there as well. So
here's a question for you. When you're talking about these other countries and Philippines in specific, are we talking about electric urban trucks? Are we talking about logistics vans? Are we talking about the cutaway vans? Are we talking about the right-hand? You've got so many great things going on there. Is it all the above, or is it a different type of animal altogether?
No, it's we're a very fortunate company because we have vehicles that we build in both right-hand and left-hand drive. We also have vehicles that are certified in the EU, and the Philippines is a country that uses the EU standard, albeit that they are left-hand drive. So we're homologated in the EU as well as in the US, which is really tremendous. So, and the answer to your question is yes to all of the above. They're looking at all of those vehicles. We're building a bus platform, and as you may have known, on my last trip, I was in Singapore, which is where we started, and we're building school buses for them. So,
well, Philip, I hope that you'll be able to join us from the Philippines. We're gonna bug you. So, either ignore our email or I'll just blow your phone up. But I want to hear from you in the Philippines. Can't wait to talk to you again, Philip Oldridge. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. CEO, Envirotech Vehicles, EVTV is their stock symbol. You can go to Envirotech Vehicles online, or just go to evtvusa.com. There they are. More Big Biz coming up. Very love boating, guys.
Bingo on the Lido Jet.
Gopher is going to sing Ain't No Stopping Us Now. Live from the Jackpot Bar. Mike was about to sing Rick Astley. Forever together.